This week, we're chasing robbery, bloodshed and murder. We're in search of a lost miners' campground, and somewhere out there are the ghosts of the Australian bushrangers.
Simon Christie said there's gold here. I've got a credit card I got to pay off.
It was exciting knowing that we're getting closer to hopefully finding that lost campsite.
You know, I reckon it's here. Oh, I can smell it.
Guys, this is looking really close. I reckon we pull over here and have a bit of a look around.
So it's here somewhere, we know it is.
All my faith is in Simon. Surely we will find something.
Today we're visiting the Upper Loddon State Forest, just to the east of Daylesford and just west of Malmesbury. It's a small forest, but it does lead on to bigger areas that celebrate and protect the historic gold miners of Victoria.
This place is absolutely mint. It's a ripper spot to come camping. It's a ripper spot to come around and just drive around for the day. Beautiful maintained tracks.
I've always thought of the central west of Victoria as being kind of dry and dusty, and it's been anything but. It's been really green, it's been lush, the hills have been awesome.
And how's the weather to pick a day? We've had some horrific wet weather, but we've absolutely nailed this day.
One thing that we're looking for here is we're in search of gold. Simon Christie has told me there's gold here. The Rangers didn't get it. The Chinese, Irish miners, they didn't get it. I'm here to get it.
There are old finds, mine sites, little bits and pieces of history, and some tall tales that are well worth looking into. And in fact, today it's one of those that we're in search of. Now, the story goes that there were a group of miners. They had a campsite on a creek. They were doing a fair bit of panning, maybe a little bit of sluicing as well, but they were looking for gold.
We have I suppose heard a rumour that the bushrangers were in here and they've held up some of the Chinese miners that were here, and apparently there was a big stash of gold, and it's never been confirmed whether they actually got it or not.
Bloodshed, murder, who knows what went on, but today we're hoping to find that site.
We've turned off the main road onto the dirt tracks, and straight away the action happens. The tracks closed in nice and tight on us. Obviously we're going up some pretty steep hills and then down a real doozy little creek crossing, and unfortunately there's a tree across, so we're going to have to stop and clear that before we can do the creek crossing. Luckily Simon's prepared, he's got all the tools, so we just need to give him a hand to clear the debris after he chops it up.
Use big gloves.
In the last couple of weeks we've had some good wind and good rain through the area, so we were expecting that we were going to find a little bit of water around and probably a few trees down. First bit of a crossing we came across, very wet, a lot of mud inside it. We cleared the track. One of the things we always try and do is clear the tracks of any trees to make it usable. It's kind of courtesy for anyone else in the four-wheel drive game that's coming through. And more importantly, you might have search and rescue people coming through here, finding people that are missing. You might have people coming through to fight fires, or DELP coming through to clear the tracks. So if we can clear and help out, that's what we always do. Simon got out the axe, chopped up one of the trees that was across the track, and we cleaned it up to get through it.
Oh, I reckon I had all of that. Did you like lift anything?
What?
So the tracks today have been really quite good. Other than the odd spot we've had to pull over and clear the trees, there has been a lot of rain, which has been good because we haven't had dust, and I hate dust. But what it does mean is you get bog holes. There hasn't been a great deal, but those that we have come across have been a little bit of fun just to get mud on the vehicles, which they haven't seen for a while. The first one we did meant that we needed to give a little bit more mumbo just to get through it. And that got everyone sort of cheered up a little bit and into it, and looking forward to whatever the track brought ahead.
To get through this little creek, which is wet. You can hear the traction aids getting in there.
Got into this first little bit of a muddy hole and actually had to give it a bit because I didn't realise it was as soft as it was. I almost got myself bogged. First hole of the morning.
Beautiful little gullies through here, across the creek, and a bit of a climb. This is absolutely magic. You can imagine the old prospectors walking up and down all of these gullies. We come out here and think we're the first to do this, but plenty of humans have been here before us, including 60,000 years of indigenous culture and history.
Guys, looks like another tree across the track. We'll pull up and clear it.
You know, it's important that you do a bit of shopping every now and then. Oh, and this is one of the good ones. Looks like this is mine.
Now that's what we call a bush workout. Good to get the exercise up.
We started doing a lot more creek crossings. It was progressing nicely. The creeks were getting bigger. We felt like we were getting closer to a major creek.
We were trying to find ourselves on the more full drivey, less travelled tracks, which ultimately meant more bog holes. They're the ones that are giving us a little bit of dirt spraying up the sides of the vehicles.
Oi.
Another car got some nice sideways action there. Let's see how the Trek hardware car goes. Yeah, no problem with these Mickeys. And we'll see how we go with the Prado.
Not giving anyone any great deal of trouble, so we got ourselves through those and we kept going.
A bit of fun. Amazing. Sopping wet down there, drier up here.
It was exciting knowing that we were getting closer to hopefully finding that lost campsite where there might be some lost gold.
Just up here, we're taking a tight right onto Ridge Road, a little bit of transit.
Copy that.
All the bushrangers used to come through here chasing easy pickings basically. They'd rob people, they'd murder people, they'd steal horses, steal the gold that people like the Irish and the Chinese and the Aussies have worked terribly hard to find. And all of a sudden this guy rides the Ridge Road that we drove on today. Hey Jake, you know there was some famous bushrangers that rolled these hills.
Yes.
Morgan was one of the most violent and cruelest of the bushrangers. He was pretty infamous all the way from the border down to here. And funny enough, his surname was Smith.
If he was one of the most aggressive, did he come from an Irish background by chance?
Not at all. He was Welsh.
You could see why the bushrangers really loved it out here because, you know, with views like that, you could see for miles. You could see when stagecoaches were coming, but you also had all those little gullies to go and hide in.
There's another track coming up shortly, that Boundary Creek track, that I reckon could lead us in the right direction to find this infamous mine site where that big gold robbery occurred.
Beautiful as Ridge Road was, it wasn't what we were here for, so we continued on till we could find a track that would take us back down to another major creek to see if we could find the lost campsite.
The very well-known Ned Kelly used to get around this area, but that was not when he formed the Kelly gang.
It was Harry Power who actually inducted, trained young Ned Kelly, so by the time Ned was 12, he was roaming these hills and gullies, stealing and thieving, learning off Harry Power.
From what I understand, he and Harry Power had a falling out not long after that, with Harry Power accusing him of being gutless in one of their escapades.
Harry Power, I think he was actually caught when he was on property owned by the Kelly family, and he always blamed Ned for dobbing him in. You can imagine, you know, the mid-1850s out here, gold fever going absolutely crazy, Cobb & Co coaches racing up old coach track, and the amount of robbery, mystery and stories that would have come out of this area. It's been said that bushrangers needed eyes in the back of their heads to survive out here. But in the case of our bushranger today, that would be a decent set of towing mirrors.
It's funny, behind me you're looking at a car that's 20 years old. And guess what? Yesterday we put a set of the new Clearview compact mirrors on it. Absolutely sensational mirror. These are compact, they stay in, they're actually smaller than the mirror that was originally on the vehicle. When I want to pull them out, it's just a matter of going beside them, pull them out to the length I want, and I've got plenty of vision. It's amazing that 20 years on, they're still making stuff to modernise a car that rolled off the production line 20 years ago.
We are getting really close. I've got a gut feeling that this Boundary Creek area is where we're going to find that campsite. Fingers crossed, the search continues.
we're still trucking. Simon's talking this little campsite up, and actually back there looked like there was old diggings, like there was big mounds of dirt.
Every time we get to the top of a hill, you sort of think it'll be at the bottom of this one.
Well, I'm thinking from the shape of these gullies that we really need a right-hand turn that'll take us back down to Boundary Creek. I'm thinking that's where the campsite is, somewhere on Boundary Creek.
There's heaps of little bits of quartz rock. Surely that means we're getting close.
Yeah, there's no shortage of quartz. They're all the right signals here that this is the area where they were mining. But from what I've been told, we'll know that campsite when we get to it.
I reckon I got a bit of gold fever. I can feel it. It's close.
Yeah, this is looking really promising.
So isn't it amazing? You look through here and you can see in this section where we are actually is very little undergrowth, and you can clearly see there's been a few fires come through here over the years. There's a lot of blackened trees. This is one of the arguments that the Aboriginals have versus over-management or under-management of, in some cases, of forestry, is we get these huge bushfires now.
And this here, you can see the remnants of the fire. This is actually a planned burn-off to reduce exactly what you said, that undergrowth, that absolute fuel which fuels those crazy, uncontrollable bushfires.
You've only got to look at it. On the right side they've done the controlled burning, and on the left they haven't, and how much green grass hopping up through there. It's remarkable the difference it makes.
Burning off is what regenerates the ground. It's what keeps the ground nutrient, it's what keeps the moisture, gets rid of all of the non-native stuff. We've been around this area now a couple of times. You've seen native plants and flowers and colour that I haven't seen in years in certain areas. And here we are searching for the treasure, and I can feel it. I know it's here, and it's going to be down near the water. It's always near water.
Well, you just got to look at the course of nature, isn't it? That gold grows deep within those rocks, deep within the quartz, deep within these mountains, and it's the water that washes it all down into the bottom of these gullies and valleys. So that's where the miners were searching, down the bottom.
That'd be fantastic, you know, we get down to the water and there's a kebab shop there.
But Jake, the four drivers spend most of their time on the tracks in daylight. Why would somebody invest top dollar in a high-performance aftermarket driving light?
Simon, not everything goes to plan, and sometimes you get left out after dark. You're working hard during the week, and it's the night times when you're trying to transit to your favourite campsite. The colour temperature is 5700 Kelvin. It's got a CRI of 72, so colour rendering index. Basically, we're just getting light closer to that of daylight, so it's easier to drive behind. It's slightly warmer. These Mark IIs versus the version 1, they've got a slightly different colour temperature to them, which means it doesn't refract off road signs as badly. It seems to fill in the dips and hollows.
Dips and hollows are also the perfect spots to look for gold. And we were hot on the trail and getting closer to the infamous miners' camp we'd been searching for all day. The campsite we're looking for is nestled on a creek, a substantial creek, and we should be coming up to one shortly.
You know, Simon, most of the bushrangers will be having kind of morning tea around about now.
Well, I've been following this awesome little creek for a couple of minutes now.
Plenty of mining activity along here. We're getting really, really close, but I just don't think this is the spot.
I'll finally be able to pay off my credit card from all the lockdown purchases with the gold we find.
Definitely a stack of digging activity right throughout here. This is an alluvial plain, so whatever was up on the hills would have been washed down here, and you can see how it's all deposited in this soft, loamy soil. Easy to dig, easy to search through, and there definitely would have been gold in here.
Once again, hopes were high, thinking this was where the spot was going to be, but unfortunately, again, no, it was not.
Even if I didn't find gold, I'd be very happy camping here for many, many weeks.
Have a look at this, guys. This looks a little bit different, but I still don't think this is the spot.
Well, I'll be. There is some form of structure down here.
Someone really should have invested in a Darchie swag or a 180 awning rather than trying to rig up that.
All right, guys, another right-hand turn. We'll give it a try.
It's all downhill here, Simon. It's looking promising.
I think I can see some green down the bottom and the creek there, so this is looking very promising.
We're up on the ridge, we're looking down into the valley. It's a bit tight, it's a bit scrubby, couldn't really see where we're going. We turned right.
And we've got another tree across the road to clear, guys. Definitely come down, give me a hand. I'm gonna need some help with this one.
More fallen trees. This one probably the biggest one. So Simon got his axe out again.
He's got this axe out. He's, you know, this is 6 days at the gym in one day. He's axed another tree, we've pulled it all aside.
But this needed a little bit more mumbo than just a little bit of manpower, so we had to hook up the Big Iveco with a few winch lines to sort of pull it off to the side of the track. Mick, unlike the last one, threw on his gloves. He got into the mix of it.
Go prepared.
That's just your bib for eating lunch.
Yes. That's when I have a hot pie.
So we hooked up a snatch block to a tree off to the side, ran the winch diagonally across to that and then back to the tree. As Simon winched in, it dragged the tree sideways and cleared the track for us.
Convoy moving.
This is looking really good down here. I can see the creek a bit, and it's looking like the right spot.
It does look nice down there.
Yeah, well, I've just got my first glimpse of it too. That looks sensational.
What the convoy and the crew don't know is I've been playing bushranger. So what I've been doing today is doing what bushrangers did, which was steal from people. So currently I've stole from Simon. Is yours or Simon?
That one's mine.
I've stolen from Dark J. And I've stolen from Jake Smith. This is what bushrangers did. This is where we are in bushranger country. So guess what? We'll have some bushranger stealing fun.
Yeah, what a neat little spot this is. There's a ripper camping little area down here.
I reckon this is the spot. Have a look at all the digging.
There's heaps of digging.
Coming down the track, and guess what? This is where we've ended up.
We got to the bottom and we landed here at this amazing flat. All right, we're in the elbow, if you like, of a creek. It flows down here, goes all the way around and just creates this awesome flat river space, which would be an amazing campsite and a really good spot to find gold, but also to hide gold. So we felt pretty confident we were in the right spot. So tonight I'll be in the Ridgeback Eco hardshell rooftop tent from Darchi. It's got a Series 6 aluminium external shell. Got a 3-year warranty. The mattress is super comfortable. It's a memory foam mattress with an anti-condensation mat underneath. It's very light at 85 kilos. The hardshell rooftop tents have been really popular of late because they're quick and easy to set up and pack down.
They're all out there looking for the gold at the moment. What they don't know is maybe I am the bushranger. I stole this from Simon's car. I stole this from Jake Smith's car. I took this from the Narva car. I'm kind, I'm not your typical Irish criminal. I'll give it back to him. Realistically, you didn't realise today, but there's actually been a bushranger amongst you all day. No horse, I came in my Land Cruiser that's got horsepower in it.
We'd found our lost mine site, we'd learned about local history, and we'd discovered a bushranger right amongst us. It's hard to beat a day out exploring with mates, and that's our Life Off-Road done for another day.